Welcome to Be the Kick.
What's up, We the Kick Army? We're back for episode 3 in the vault. And of course, episode 3, we're gonna talk about Jordan 3's. I have a whole bunch of my collection. We're just gonna talk about a few today. We'll dive into the collection at a later episode, but let's get started right into it. So, last year was the year of the 3's, some huge releases in the 3's. Let's talk about the first one. So this is the Jordan 3 free throw. Bunch of cool things on the shoe. First of all, let's talk about the line on the bottom. This line represents the spot where he jumped off and took Dominique Wilkins and beat him in the competition to win. There's some other things. The 147, I don't know if you can see that on the tongue, that stands for his total score that he got. On the other shoe, it has the time of 3:51. If everyone knows that famous poster in the background, the clock said 3:51. I had that in my room growing up. So great shoe, just phenomenal, great design. I actually like the no swoosh. I think it adds something to it. And let's talk about the next one. So the next one is very special to me. I had to call in some favors to get this one. This is the Jordan 3 Seoul. What a crazy shoe this is. Only released in Seoul, Korea. A very small amount of shoes released. Inside the tongue, you can see some Korean writing. It stands for Harmony and Progress. On the other shoe, there's also Korean writing. It stands for the Olympics in '88. That's what the shoe represents. 30 years since Seoul, Korea hosted the Summer Games. Released March 10th, a year ago. Again, I was lucky enough to get this, called in a few favors. It took a while to come from Korea, but they are in the WTK vault. And last but not least, these are the JTH, the Super Bowl specials. Launched actually during the Super Bowl last year. Tinker Hatfield and Justin Timberlake designed these shoes together. Tinker actually went back into his old sketches. You can see, here's the swoosh, which is usually not on the 3's, and there's a Tinker Hatfield signature on the inside. Just a great all-around shoe, and yeah, people say, oh, they all look the same, but you know, to each their own. This one has the Nike symbol, which was one of Tinker's original designs, but never used. And again, many more 3's in the collection, and we'll talk about it in a further episode. What's up out there, WTK Army? It's Cooks back in the vault. You know, before we get too further down in the line of episodes, I want to talk about my love for Stan Smith Adidas. You know, I talk a lot about Jordans, but Stan Smith has a very special place in my heart. Originally released in 1963, he was a #1 tennis star, and Adidas figured that'd be a great way to get some sneakers out there and some sneakers sold. Recently, it was proclaimed one of the #1 sneakers of all time, which I highly agree with. A cool little stat about it is in 2012, Adidas completely disregarded the line, stopped making any Stan Smiths, and because of social media pressure, in 2014, Stan Smith was re-released with flying colors. Let me show you a few of my Stan Smiths in my collection. So let's look at the original classic. Minus the rubber toe and some gold touches that the Superstar edition added. These are basically what the Stan Smith was back in 1963. It's such a timeless piece and an instant must-have for any sneakerhead in their collection. Next up, we have the Tyshawn Pro Model Skateboarding. It's your 3/4 snakeskin finish. One of the favorite pairs of Adidas I have in my collection. Great job, Tyshawn. Unbelievable 3/4 shoe. Now, one of my favorites in the actual whole collection is the Happy 420 Adidas. So Adidas teamed up with Bait, and they came up with this 420 shoe, released on April 20th, 2016, made out of hemp with cork sole, environmentally friendly, let's say. So you have all these touches like your Prescribe, high potency, have a nice day, 420 milligrams. For any burnout out there, this is a must-have in their collection. Adidas, shout out to you. What's up, guys? Cooks back in the vault. So you know how I love having discussions with people about shoes. I had a interesting discussion about ugly shoes with a Dan Greenspan. Shout out to Dan Greenspan. I see you live in the 6. Shout out to you, part of the North, WTK Army, love you. But let's talk about ugly shoes. He said to me, you talk so passionately about the shoes you love. How about talk about the shoes you hate? And that's very tough for me because I don't hate a lot of shoes, and I don't have a lot of shoes I hate in my collection. But let's talk about a few that I kind of disliked, but I still added to the collection because it's part of sneaker history. Let's talk about the Pharrell. Teamed up with Adidas, they released the MMDs Solar Pack, August 18, 2018. This is what one of the shoes, there was 3 released that day. That's what one of the shoes looks like. I got it, I snagged it just in time. Although I do now see that Pharrell's are sitting on the shelf. But this is probably one of the ugliest shoes I have in my collection. And I hate to rip on shoes, I'm a shoe guy, but not my favorite. They recently came out with a new colorways for the, this is called the PW Solar HU. And in my mind, it's a step up. Like you all know, I'm a sucker for a white sneaker. So this is more of a white sneaker, less of this fancy colors. It's definitely a step up. Let's talk about, like I said, hate to be negative about shoes. So let's talk about Pharrell's, one of my favorites he's done for Adidas. This is the Adidas HU Stan Smith kind of feel to it. So I hate being negative on shoes, but definitely not my favorite. Definitely one of my favorites. By now you all see what I have in my hands. This is the Yeezy Mauve 750. Based after the design of the Wave Runner. This was released a month ago. Had to add it to the collection. It is a Yeezy, but again, you will never see these on my feet. Maybe one of the ugliest shoes I have in my collection. I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on with the Yeezys over there right now, but I think Kanye needs to take a lesson from Jordan and maybe not release everything that's in the playbook. So some of you guys might have noticed that episode 2, I didn't speak of the Jordan 2 like I spoke of the Jordan 1s in the episode 1. Let's be honest with you guys, I'm a huge Jordan fan. When it comes to the Jordans, the 2 may be one of my least favorite, although there are some ugly Jordans along the way, further along, but number 2 took a left turn. I don't know if it's ever coming back. Recently, I have updated my collection with, I've been searching. I needed a few 2s that can better represent for my collection of what the 2 was. And something better looking. I need something better looking in my collection. So I recently added the Kawhi 54s. These were brought out for the World Basketball Street Ball Championships released. They have the gold touches. Just a step up when it comes to 2s. I've also recently added the infrareds, cements, 2s to the collection. Again, very cool colorway. You've got your highlights in your fluorescent reds. Just a step up when it comes to 2s. But again, 2s are not my favorite.